All right, well, I will call to order the January 9th, 2023 Town of Fairfield Golf Commission meeting. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, well, thank you, everybody. Happy 2023. Happy New Year.
Oh, that's right. It's so long ago. It's like a week.
All right. Yes. Yeah, she goes back right after Martin Luther King weekend. Correct. Yeah. Let's take attendance, actually. Keith Varian, Peter Sechrist, Mike Harrington,
Christine Hogan,
Mike Feinstein, Bob Biganet, Peter Grace,
Anthony Calabrese,
Priscilla Schultz.
Liam Herron on the phone.
All right. Great. Hi, Liam. Minutes from December 12th. Everybody got them? Mm-hmm. Any comments, thoughts, revisions from anybody? All right. I'll take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion that you approve the minutes from December.
All right. Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye. No.
Hi.
Okay, great. All right. Staff reports. Bob.
Hello, everyone. Not too much to report. I would say that IDs are available online now. We've already been making sales there, so that's a good thing. Seems like people probably feel a little more comfortable with it, so hopefully that goes up. I haven't been getting many calls, so it's a problem. All the organizations have submitted their schedules, and they look pretty good to me. No major changes in that category. And at this moment, we have 11 confirmed outings.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. And talk about the carts.
Carts are, as far as I know, moving along okay. They asked us for the logo, so that makes me think that they must be working on it, going along the line somewhere. I do think it's a blessing that we went with the same company, because if we wouldn't have, they would have already came and got those carts, and we might be with no carts come springtime. So I think April, Pete, what he said. But as everyone knows, anything out there right now is
right.
So we're glad we got way out in front of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a question about the app. You might not know. Is there an app? I know. Isn't it kind of interesting as well?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a lot of golf courses don't have them, but some do. Kind of wondering.
You know, I think Brookline uses Fora, and they have an app.
We have an app at Bronson, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I'm naive, but I know you can get tee times on your phone.
Yeah, but you're on.
You gotta go online.
You gotta go to the website, though.
Yeah.
Which is easy to use.
I'll find out. Yeah, I don't know.
And then a question not for me, but for someone else. When we do the new driving range, are we going to make sure there's left-handed spots? Left-handed. It's like, you know, if you're lefty, it's good to have specific pads for lefties.
One strip.
Okay, I'm asking.
No, I'm just saying no. No, I get it.
Yeah.
You're talking about both.
Yeah.
Both sides.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Sometimes you have to move the little bucket
Yeah.
thing, like the barrier.
Sometimes they have like different layers of rock.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe
Yeah.
But we
Someone else
should
will
be
do.
able to do that, right?
Yeah.
And you just
Yeah.
went into the
I got it.
app store.
I get it.
My daughter's lefty, so that's
Yeah, because
good.
right now it's just one sheet, it doesn't really matter, but
But when
you're right, we have like a Creamer.
Yeah, Creamer
They
has
have
that. Yeah, a lot of places do. Yeah.
Got it.
But the app thing would be interesting to find out about.
Doesn't look like they do. From what
Yeah,
I can see.
don't, it might be that the technology isn't there
Yeah.
to,
You think of, but yeah,
I.
it's interesting that they don't have an app, but.
Okay.
I will find out.
And can I ask another question?
Yeah.
How did your shop do?
My shop did wonderful.
Good.
Yeah.
So you're happy with what you brought in, you're happy, you feel like successful in your shop? Because that's a big part of how you earn money, right?
The shop, to me, is basically a lost leader.
Oh, really?
There's not a lot of money to be made in golf shops. You can do okay on hats and shirts.
Yeah.
Club game is very difficult.
Yeah.
The margins are really tight. And they force you to buy 6, like just for example, you can't just buy one driver. You gotta buy packs of 6.
Right.
So if you don't sell all 6, you lose money.
And what about the clothing part?
Clothing is fine, because you can make money, because you can keystone it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it did pretty tough. People are loving the stuff we brought in. I haven't quite figured out the ladies yet. Trying different stuff.
Yeah, I think you could definitely try. And do you have anything when there is outings where you do kind of push pro shop credit so you do get some revenue out of it?
So, yeah, each outing spends $11 per player
Okay.
in the golf shop.
Okay.
Which is
And
nice.
all the leagues, like the ladies league, runs the money through?
They do, their prizes.
Okay.
Yeah, they support me really nice. The shop, I think people are learning that I have different stuff in there, and I think it's gonna continue to grow.
Yeah, you change the shirts up during the year and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
And your prices aren't crazy for golf shops.
That's good, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to find that balance where the market is. It's,
I go to Golfers Warehouse.
pizza, takes, doesn't pay.
I got a great drink it.
All right,
But thank you for asking.
Anthony.
Everybody should have received the December numbers. As you'll see, we were only open a week and a half or so in December, so pretty much the same thing we did last year. Numbers were pretty much spot on. And if you look at the calendar year, January to December, which essentially covers the golf season, you'll see we're at just over 49,000 rounds, which again is pretty much spot on with where we were last year. The only difference really is we're down 3,000 in non-residents, but up 3,000 in residents. So again, I think that has to do with the 4-up system and the way people are getting tee times. So we probably should just keep an eye on that going forward. Again, non-residents are a vital part of keeping the golf course affordable for the taxpayers. So everything else, again, I'm not concerned. We're above our budget numbers, and I think we're, as long as we have a solid spring and it's nice and dry, we'll be all right.
I mean, I think the optimistic viewpoint on this is what did it look like in 2019. That's almost like the run rate that we should think about. And the fact that we kept up with 2021, which, obviously is a big bump up, and people continue to play.
Yep.
But Bob made the point earlier that if we keep getting more resident rates and losing the non-resident rates, we're going to have to increase the resident rates to match anything close to these numbers, because the residents pay a much lower number than the non-residents do. So we want to...
Yeah, you need to get almost 2 to 1,
right?
Right.
We need enough non-residents.
There's also a huge drop-off in driving range revenue.
Yeah.
Why that was.
Yep.
I personally think it was mats. They get new mats at the wheel.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just my personal guess to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I've heard from people who have gone there. They said they like the wheel better at this point, but yeah. But hopefully,
But they have mats now, aren't they reusable?
We placed a PO for mats, didn't we?
I've got some new mats ordered.
Yeah.
They're coming in
We're looking good there.
4 weeks.
good.
Oh.
I just don't
Great.
whether if anyone wants to, we're going to install it. We're up the old, but the new one. So that's all set to go.
So hopefully that'll help that number. That one jumped at.
For righties only.
Yeah.
No,
No, you're right.
Righties only.
For righties
You're left-handed, you're in trouble.
And I think when people get used to the wheel, they like it because it's automated.
Yes.
They have a lot better
Yep.
hours, because they can afford, they don't have to man it.
Yeah.
For us,
Yeah.
we
We're
couldn't
working
afford
on
it.
the new machine too.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And that would allow us to be the same way, kind of self-service all the time. No
Yeah.
really closing and opening type
Yeah, that would be nice.
scenario. To me, that's where you want to get to the point where
Right.
Fully automated.
if you want to come right before dark and hit a few balls.
Mhm.
Good. All right. Any questions for Anthony?
When's the budget going to be done?
That's a great idea. I don't know. Good question.
Oh, really?
Meeting with the administration tomorrow, so that'll be the first crack at the budget. I think the first budget hearing, February 21st, 22nd, so
Who's that with?
that'll be the Board of Selectmen.
Oh, sorry, that's the first meeting
So, yeah, so I probably will not have a budget to you guys Well, no, I guess I'll have a budget to you guys probably 2 weeks before that meeting. The next February meeting, you guys should be seeing the budget. And then it'll change, most likely, within the 2 weeks by the administration, so. Because then it becomes the first selectwoman's budget.
Anything new on the simulators?
No, we're trying to put that money in with the driving range upgrades, so I'll go for that money in February as well. I think February 6th, I think the Board of Selectmen might hear that, potentially. Right. Capital, yeah. That would be the earliest, 5th or 6th.
Peter?
Oh, got a lot going on up there. I don't know if anybody's been out there, but we have hauled out, we got the 7th Ladies Tee all smoothed out. Started hauling to the 6th Ladies Tee. Took a lot of big trees down. You'll notice the big trees that have come down, but a lot of the smaller trees. We've taken about 75 trees down last week.
Wow.
And a lot of you won't even notice.
You guys did that yourself?
I had a little help from a company, and my guys have been out there doing a lot of the work. We took, like when we're going to put the 6 leaves, they took 3 trees down, boom, boom. We'll start to haul. That next, we've had good weather, so hopefully the weather holds out, and we'll continue with that. Like I said, we got the driving range mats all ordered, so we're setting that up to get installed, so we'll be ready for the springtime. And
New equipment yet?
that is the next.
Yeah, no.
Well, there's not going to be equipment yet, but hopefully, that's the other thing, my foreman, 2.5 guys up there and getting the equipment ready to go. Greens mowers are ready to go in case the new ones don't come in.
But they're on order, right?
For a
Yeah,
year.
They've been on order for a year and a half.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we got the aerator, and John got his greens mower, so moving forward.
Has anybody looked any more at Lincoln Inn at Part 3?
You know what, I was just thinking about that, but no, I answered that, I didn't look into it. I guess we'd have to bring a CSGA guy or a USGA? I said CSGA guy.
So this is, I read this in the minutes from last time, that comment meant it's not long enough to be counted as a CWGA course.
Correct.
So you'd have to add 1,500.
It has to be 1,500 yards.
And how many is it?
That's, I think we're, like 1,375 or
Right,
something
200
like
yards, I think we're 200 yards short.
200 yards.
But as we found out last month, it doesn't have to be where the actual tees are, it has to be the teeing area. So it can mean, you can go all the way back and keep the tees approximately the same place.
Because it's interesting, because the par 3 has really long tee boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Dramatically long.
Yeah, they're huge.
So there's not a lot of room to push some of those back.
No, I can't remember what we said, there were a couple of places that we thought we could,
You
but,
could do it at 7, for sure, maybe
Yeah.
even 5.
Two.
two.
Oh, yeah,
2, yeah.
and 5,
I
but
think
yeah.
John thinks he can do it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he definitely
Yeah,
does.
if it's 200 yards or so.
Yeah, because some of those holes are like 70, 80 yards. I mean, you could add 15 yards per hole and still make it.
940 might not be able to make.
Oh, yeah, maybe push the 9 back.
That was a good job.
But you don't have to push the tees back, you can keep the tees where they are.
Right, you just gotta push
It's just
that
the
box.
tee and
I
ground.
gotcha. So you can
Yeah.
leave it, you're right. I
You can
get
leave
what
the
you're saying.
tees where they are.
So it would still play the same distance.
It
is what
could
you're
still
saying.
play the same
I
distance.
understand.
You just gotta play their game and get
Right.
Play the game. You just gotta make it look good. Okay. But that would be great. Yeah, that would be good. Okay. All right. Greens committee, par 3 committee.
I wanted to walk the course, I haven't had a chance yet, but,
Wet.
it's wet, yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly not frozen, not with the weather we've been having.
All right, no old business, new business. I circulated the rules for the outside tournament. Really wanted to get Bob's sort of take on it. And I mentioned this about earlier, just kind of curious, one, just another set of eyes from everybody on this. How does it look? The dollar amounts, maximum, the minimum, the deposits. Again, I think, to me, generally looks okay, but curious what everybody thinks.
How did we get to $76 in the first place? What was the rationale?
One more time.
Yeah, because you get $11 pro shop, $2 player administration, so then that comes down, you take that out, what,
What is
13,
this?
63.
Outings.
It must have been
Outings.
non-resident cart at some point, added up to 63 is my guess.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Oh,
You know, it's funny, the one thing I did notice when I read these, I hadn't read them in a while, it says, season ticket or resident IDs are not valid for tournaments. I had somebody call me once and say, hey, a lot of the people in our outing are season tickets or residents, can we get a discount or change the price? That must have come up at some point,
Yeah.
because it's baked into the rules.
Right. Yeah. Do they really now, do you get 3 checks? I was reading this.
Well, yeah, there's one for the town, one for me, and one for the restaurant.
So we couldn't come up with a process that they could write 1 check and we can do all of it internals, or is that something that's a problem for the town?
I don't think it's a problem for the town, it's just 3 separate businesses,
Yeah.
right? The town's doing one, the pro does his own thing, and Boca does their own thing, so.
I just thought,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
or,
I think it's almost easier just to keep them separate.
No one's ever bought.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
right.
Is the $76 adequate for you? Do you feel like it needs to be?
I think we're fairly priced. I like what's going on with the outings. I think we're creating a good thing.
How many outings did we have this last year?
We had 11.
We had 11.
Yeah, I got a
Okay.
couple more, like, possible, but I'm comfortable with 11.
Yeah, I think 11's a good number. I mean, I know we were tasked with trying to get that number up to 20, which I just think is so hard to
That's like every
do.
Monday.
Now, Bob,
Yeah.
it says in point 6 that the total payment of $9,150. I thought you were thinking about something more than the order of 10 grand.
No, eight, like, I went and looked at average Mondays, and it was like about 82 to 8,300, so 128 times 63 gets you right in that window.
Covers that. Okay. And point.
That one looks a little funny because it's including the extra 13,
Yeah.
the 91, you know what I mean?
And the range balls, does anybody at the
Yeah,
outing?
you beat a few.
Do they?
People like it.
And
If we had a show that would get them up there, I think it'd be really
Yeah.
Get like a coin if they want.
The range just knows that they're part of the outing.
Not to be anal, but in point number 1, it talks about the golf commissioner. Who is that?
Yeah, it should be golf commission, right?
Okay.
Golf commissioner, or is it him?
Not me.
Yeah, the golf commission, yeah.
The golf commission.
Yeah, that's what I think. Unless it means the chair, but I wouldn't act alone on something like this, so,
And-
We'll just say,
yeah, I would probably put it as golf commission.
okay.
That's how most of these things
You still try to get some rounds in the morning on Mondays usually too, right?
so if it's under 128, I like to do either an 8 o'clock or a 1:30 shotgun so that you can open the tee box.
Yeah.
That's that break-even number about 80, you know what I'm saying? Sure. Yeah. I personally feel that if Pete ever gets a half a day to work on the course, it's really valuable.
Yeah.
Because we're open 7 days a week. Every tee time, it's hard for him to get guys, besides just doing general maintenance, actually do projects. It's,
Right.
with play constant, it's hard, so in my.
Do most people, when they book an outing, do they have a preference between the morning or the afternoon? Do you give them that choice?
I give
or-
them a choice,
Okay.
but most people want to be in the afternoon.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they want dinner or after?
Right.
I really like the 1:30, and the more people I convince to do it, because the guy can work half a day and still
Right, that's
play.
true.
Yeah, a lot of the outings I play in, like, you go get lunch,
Right.
and then you tee off.
Right.
Yeah,
Correct.
And then you're done, and you do an early dinner, drinks.
Yeah, that's
type
exactly
thing.
what.
Right.
And that
works really
probably
well.
helps you too, Peter, so the guys can work in the
Yeah,
morning.
that morning is.
Yeah.
Unless he throws an 8 o'clock shotgun at it.
Right.
So, that's fine.
But for the
we're so used to
afternoon,
that,
no,
but
yeah.
It's not a big deal.
I think the restaurant's been pleased with the number of hours.
They have. And how have they worked so far on the outings? It seems like it's been generally working.
Yeah, it's working nicely. They offer a wide variety of packages.
Yeah.
are the 11 for next year, or I guess this year, re-ups?
Almost all of them.
Yeah.
One new one.
Good.
And
That's
the other
great.
one that it didn't renew, wants to renew.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, Bob, I'll defer to you, but if there's any of these numbers that you think, particularly the size or the minimums or maximums, you know, I would think they're probably okay, but,
And then are we gonna do anything as far as promoting the par three outing there, or?
So I was thinking about that, you know, we don't have rules for the par three, and there's nothing on the website anywhere about it. But I
Right.
would like to say, we do outings at the par three, and then that should just be run through Bob and the commission or something like that. So if somebody wants to do a par three golf outing, which, how many did we have, you said?
We had 2 this
We
year.
had 2, I didn't realize that, we had 2 this year.
Oh, okay.
So I think we should do the same thing, where we'll take outings on the par three, and that's just sort of, we'll play it by ear.
And then we
depending on what-
definitely need to come up with rules for that. Now, did you find that that was hard for you to, when you're dealing with Smith, to have
Not
to?
at all.
Not at all, good.
No.
Yeah,
I think if you run an outing, it's a heck of a place to have a quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I was playing one day, Bob, and you had a group that did 9 holes at the par three, then they came to Smith.
That's called the Sambuca Open.
Yeah.
I didn't count that. I didn't count that as an outing at the par three.
No, they had to change the name.
There was
Greenskeeper
no,
event.
there was no that day,
Right.
and they went out there. You
Yeah,
played that day?
I
too?
played that day.
Oh, you're hurry. I didn't play that second 9, the 9 was enough for me. Too cold for me.
It was the Greenskeeper Revenge
But
Tournament.
it was actually kind of a fun idea.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
They played down there, and it wasn't a huge group, right?
Yeah, it was like 60 guys.
60 guys, and then.
I don't know, that's pretty big, I think.
Well, in the
Yeah.
morning.
And they played 9
Yeah.
at Smith.
Oh, wow.
So, and it's probably, you can probably manage it pretty well by
Yeah.
blocking that
The
time
time.
off.
It's really end of the season too, where it's
Yeah.
not like, it was cold.
It was really cool.
To me,
But
the par
they
three.
make the thing crazy at the par three.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. I mean, what was it, 2 birdies? Right? 2 birdies? 4 birdies?
Yeah.
Was it called the Sambuca tournament?
That's what they call it. It's been in town as long as
Should they
I-
call
Was there a
it?
bottle? I didn't.
When Mr. Flato was in office, he got wind of the Sambuca, so they changed it to the
Uh.
Greenskeeper Revenge Tournament, but now it's kind of transferred.
I think this is, it
Lego didn't like it, huh?
falls under the category of maybe too much information.
Yeah.
I think we just leave it.
There's no alcohol involved.
But is it, I just was curious, is it something that, like, is it a charity thing?
No, they do give money to, a charity, a piece, and they gave money to the employees.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that
Employees Christmas party.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
No, it looks really fun.
Brian, did you play?
Yeah. The guys that play every year, I think it's been going on.
Yeah,
And they told me 30 years or 35
probably
years.
more than that, probably.
Wow, that's great.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, I would love to have more outings there. I mean, it's something that we should be taking advantage of.
Right.
Like I said, I think the par three is something that is,
So
we
just
should
still
be
is
utilizing.
kind of tough, right?
There's something there.
I mean, as far as after the golf is
They
over.
brought in a food truck, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be it, but.
You have to do a food truck. I mean, I don't even know if you can rent anything across, at, you know, the tennis
Tennis
or
court.
the booths or whatever.
I think they do it there and they go somewhere.
Yeah, you have to, yeah, you go to like Geronimo's or something.
Right.
Yeah, but I think if we put something on the website that says, I don't know how to.
Yeah.
I'm not a marketing guy, but something that
I'll
says,
add it in there
you
somewhere.
know, welcome.
If you
to-
want to use, we also, the par three is available for.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean, I think we should at least make that known, because, who knows, maybe we can take another 2 or 3 outings.
Right, and maybe we can, so we'll probably have to come up with some rules with that as far as what you feel is fair as far as the price, so you can make some money also, and,
My personal feeling is, right now, I wouldn't make any rules, let's see how it goes, and then if we start getting outings, we can kind of,
We can
but
kind of-
if somebody says, oh, I got 20 people, just block out some tee times,
Yeah.
let's go, you know, but, yeah, I think, let's get the people in there, so let's make it as welcoming as possible, and see what we can do. All right. Goals for 2023. So, I'm going to start with my favorite one, which is Liam's. Better monthly reports and analytics for 2023. So, Liam, any suggestions on sort of, I know that this is like, you know, your world, so any suggestions on how we could do that to improve it?
Yeah, I had a couple sort of ideas for what to do there, and I floated them around earlier in the summer, and I had hopes for getting some free time to do them, but I just didn't get to that this summer, unfortunately. So I guess I'm pushing the last year goal off to to this year. So, yeah, no, I think what I'll try to do is come up with an example of what I'm thinking about, and then maybe just generate it for 1 month and then pass it around, and then everybody can comment and add. And if before then somebody has ideas about what they want to see or what they'd like to see out of the numbers that I can possibly extract from either 4UP or the Munis type data that we have access to, like it'd be, I'm open to hear what people want to see. But I had sent around an email. I can recirculate that if you'd like to, give the ideas of the types of things I'd like to see. It's like the one example would be, just maybe some pie charts, just some visualizations, pie charts and bar charts and stuff like that about either how close we are to the budget or like how much weather impact did we have that month, or things like maybe what percentage came from out of town, the non-residents versus the residents, and just like revenue breakdowns. So we'll just like something more visual, less of like tabular spreadsheet sort of thing, and then just the things we talk about, like every month we talk about things like this wasn't a good month because of weather. It'd be nice to know the weather impacted more weekdays than weekends, and it was more non-residents didn't show up because it'd just be nice to be able to show a lot of this stuff in like a simple sort of digestible way with some charts and visualizations. That was just my plan for what I was thinking.
Do you have access to the information you need to do that, or do you need more specialized access?
I think I have a little bit. I think I have enough access to get started, and then if I need more, I can ask for more. But both Anthony and Bob have been pretty good about giving me a decent amount of access to things.
Liam, do you think the 4UP is providing, kind of the data that you think you might need, or is there other, are there other fields or other,
Yeah, that's a good question. I've been provided the access. I haven't sort of validated whether, it has all the right things I can bucket and, do pivot type stuff and do the breakdowns. The data needed in order to get granular with the data and roll it up in different ways, So I just haven't checked to see if there's additional data I could ask from 4UP. I think initially, based on the accounts that we send into Munis, where we do allocate these things to the different, sub-accounts from the accounting point of view, all the ledger stuff. And I think that we have enough, based on what I've seen in the past, that we should be able to do this. But, I don't know. I don't know without, before I get into looking at things at a lower level detail.
Yeah, part of, when we've been talking about non-resident, resident, do we really know if non-resident is a non-resident, or are they just a person that doesn't have an ID?
Oh, I'll never know that. That's something, I'm not, without, more information than what you do at the register, which is, maybe you could trace, address of the credit card, but I don't think we have access to that information.
Right.
We talked 2 or 3 months ago about putting together a full P&L that included the debt burden, which you thought you could do quarterly, I think, Anthony.
Yeah, but we didn't.
Isn't it a static number that we pay on the debt?
Well,
But we don't
year to year it changes, but we didn't. I don't recall being asked to include the debt, but we included Gulf programs and the concession lease, and that's on the second page.
But I thought you said on the P&L, a full cost of P&L, the cost side, you look at quarterly and report to the town if there's a significant difference.
Oh, yeah, and we haven't had Q2 yet, so I haven't put those numbers together. But yeah, I can, yes, I think I said I would just basically include the same stuff that I give to the Board of Finance.
Right.
Yeah, so that would be probably our next meeting. Because Q2 closed just now. Yeah, so.
That'd be good.
All right, so then, other than Liam's, all the rest of us put, course improvement lists, with the majority of them being the items that we've been talking about, car paths, tees, drainage, and trees. So that's really gonna fall on Peter. So I think one of the things that we're seeing from the Golf Commission collectively is to prioritize getting that work done in 2023. And so I know you've already, like you said, you've already been making progress on that, which is awesome. That'll be fun to see. But I think that's where it seems like we're all leaning right now, which is to make progress and keep doing those items. So I'm gonna collectively put those together now that I have everybody. I'm gonna make that list and I'll circulate it to everybody, including Bob, Peter, and Anthony, so you guys can all see it. But just to show what the Golf Commission is interested in achieving in 2023.
We did have a plan by you.
Yeah, I know, but everybody still has, Priscilla had, I don't know, what you have, 9, 10 items,
Give me a little time to think, and very dangerous.
Yeah, no, I know, I'm just saying.
Very goal-oriented.
Yeah, and again, we're not gonna achieve all 9
Right.
in one season, like Mike's saying, but.
Might as well put it down, though.
Yeah, but that's, I want everybody to see what the priorities are, but I think for 2023, the items that we've been talking about are the items that we need to get done in 2023. And if we can get them done before the season, even better, which is good. And you also keep focusing on the youth programs and the kids.
Yeah, super important. Well, I think a priority should always be the golf course. That should
Yeah.
always be primary, but then obviously keeping an eye on these other things. Bob, I think he's doing a great job with these programs.
The youth program has been
Yeah,
amazing.
it's been great, but we should always keep focusing on that too.
It's amazing when, I think it takes like a half an hour for it to fill up, which it really does, so, which is a tribute to what you and your guys are doing up there.
No, I'm excited. My daughter's gonna join that. She wants to play. It's message here, so.
Well, yeah, one broken window at the maintenance building.
I'm surprised, that's all.
Any incidents of people getting hit at Boca by the 18th?
I haven't heard.
Not lately, but there were a couple this year, but not bad.
Do you see people trying to get on the course and play?
All the time.
And what do? Like, you can't stand there.
Yeah,
You're
walk
not
through,
always
like,
there.
dog walking out there with his golf club.
Hey, what are you doing? Technically, I think you can go out there anytime.
It's open
Right.
space.
But you can't say golf, right? Because you don't want them on the, you don't want them
Yeah,
on
you
the.
don't want
you
to, I
don't
think divots.
The greens are really the biggest.
Because it's technically a park, right? Don't they have, people want to hike and.
Yeah. To throw my son around.
But they can snowshoe and
Yeah.
cross-country ski
Yep.
and stuff like that.
Sure.
The cross-country skiers will be coming up. Hopefully not, but having to have snow,
Sledders, right?
Yeah.
not being a skier.
Right. All right, well, I'll get that together again. Prioritize what we're talking about for 2023, but I'll send the list around what everybody's interested in, kind of condense it into one list. That's it. Any comments from the public? No comments from the public? Anybody else on the phone other than Liam?
Nope.
Nope. Anything else from anybody? Going once? Good. All right. Well, thank you.